Purdue President and former Governor Mitch Daniels is catching heat from educators over his alleged attempt to censor a history book. But Daniels insists it was no big deal. RTV6 reporter Norman Cox talked with Daniels today about the dispute, which came to light through emails obtained by the Associated Press.
Daniels says it was just a brief exchange of emails with subordinates 3 years ago in which he tried to determine if a history book was being used in Indiana public schools. When he found it wasn't, he dropped the issue. But educators are concerned, especially since he's now running a major university.
The book, written in 1980, is A People's History of the United States. The book was written by Howard Zinn, a historian and social activist who died 13 years ago. It focuses on the struggles of women, African Americans, and workers for equal treatment. Daniels says it misstates American history on every page, but educators like IUPUI history professor Michael Snodgrass dispute that.
I don't think it qualifies as anti-American. In fact, to the contrary, I think it's very American in its attempts to essentially democratize history by bringing peoples in whose voices had previously not been heard.
Daniels says liberals have also criticized Zinn's work. He says his only concern was that Indiana kids not be force-fed a false version of American history.
He's been condemned for a long, long time by people across the spectrum. And no one needs to take it from me. He was an intellectual fraud and a purposeful falsifier of history in a way that constantly denigrated, American tradition and American principles.
Snodgrass says Zinn has long been a boogeyman to conservative groups, and he understands why Zinn's approach would bother people like Daniels. But he finds Daniels' criticism troubling.
I find it particularly troubling his use of the term anti-American to refer to a professor and a scholar who would have himself considered himself very American.
Daniels says he wasn't attacking the academic freedom of professors and says he was never concerned about the book being used at the college level. I'm Norman Cox, RTV6.
And although the book is not used in Indiana public schools, Snodgrass says it has had an impact here because so many Indiana teachers read it in college and have been influenced by it.
One of